but in the recording, and then so it should be the first slide, and here it is, and then I'll try to make it full screen. So does it work here? Okay, it works here. And I should share one more time. So you can also see. Well, today we are starting the new unit of Medicine 1 course book, and this is Unit 2, Working in General Practice, about medical jobs. And so first I would like to say some words about your previous home assignment. There were some just mistakes there. You remember that the first grammar exercise was about completing the sentences with one of two forms, the present simple tense or the present continuous tense. And there were some problems there. For example, if we have a look at the first sentence, so these days most children are having too many fizzy drinks. Okay, so sometimes in this context a continuous is possible, but we were speaking about the use of the verb to have, and you remember that the use of this verb is restricted to simple forms, not continuous. So I mean that it's better to use the simple form in the meaning of possession. It's better to use the simple form. Yes, Mahaved Ali, what did you want to?
Yes. In the first sentence, I write most children have too many fizzy drink, but I don't know why in this sentence he write are having.
I wrote are having, right?
Yes.
So I couldn't write anything so on the Moodle side.
No, teacher. In the home screen now, in the first sentence, these days most children are having. In the
So,
first,
and
I think.
I mean that this is the wrong just way of, yeah.
This is wrong. Yeah, have is correct. Yes.
Yes, yes. So I mean, is this no? It's not the screenshot from your paper. So I mean, this is the wrong way. I just made some screenshots from different from papers of different students, and the correct sentence is given below. These days, most children have too many fizzy drinks. This is the right way of using the tenses. So, and if we speak about these, number 5 and number 6, some of the students used the past simple form, which was also wrong, because the instructions say that it should be present forms. Of course, it's it's okay if we didn't get taken away pizzas during the last week. So, but this is about every week, just about regular action. That is why it's better to use the present simple. Like here, we don't get takeaway pizzas during the week, for example, and we just get pizzas at the weekend. So it's possible in this context. And in number 6, also the student just used the past simple tense. What did your mother make? It smells great. So it's better to use what is your mother making? It smells great. So this is the process of cooking. That is why we should use continuous form. And as for the next sentence, the diet in my country got worse. So we don't know when. So, and we shouldn't use past simple. That is why this option is wrong. It's better to use the diet in my country is getting worse nowadays, like currently, or the diet in my country gets worse regularly. So just depending on what we mean. And so if we move to the next slide, Tariq is joining us. So here are the screenshots from the second exercise, where the task was to use the present perfect or the present perfect continuous tense, and to add since or for. There were no problems with since and for prepositions. So, but yes, Mohammed.
Yes, teacher. In the first sentence, why we didn't use past present simple present perfect continuous?
Why? Because you remember when we were speaking about the forms of some verbs with the meaning of so physical perception, or they are so-called state verbs. So they are not action verbs. And this verb know, to know, is a state verb. It doesn't show any action. That is why the state verbs, they are not used in continuous forms. So in all continuous forms, like present continuous, present perfect continuous, future continuous, past perfect continuous. So it's better to use simple forms, like we have known each other since we were children. And this verb is given, was given to you just to remember on one of the slides, among the other verbs which are not used in continuous forms. So, and sentence number 3, does your sister have had that hairstyle for a long time? So I see that the student tries to use the present perfect form of the verb to have, but if we use the present perfect, first of all, when we speak about sister, this is the third person singular, she, it should be has, not have. And we make the question with the help of this auxiliary verb. We just use it at the beginning of the sentence, like, has your sister had that hairstyle for a long time? So does is the auxiliary verb for the present simple, not for the present perfect tense. The next sentence says, I have been loving her since the first day we met. This is the same. Love is a state verb, so it's better to use it in simple form. I have loved her since the first day we met. Nurin Hassam is joining us. Okay. And yes, more sentences. Like, my internet connection haven't worked since yesterday. Right? Yes. So in internet connection, this is the third person singular. We can replace this subject with the pronoun it. That is why we need to use has, not have. And in the second example, my internet connection has not worked since yesterday. Well, this is here we have has, but I think it's better to use continuous form because the focus is not only on the fact, but only on the process. Since yesterday, it means for a long time. That is why it's better to use the present perfect continuous. Hasn't been working. So this is the way we should use the tenses in the context which was given as a home assignment. Do you have any questions? No questions. Is Mohammed Ali here? Hello, Mohammed Ali? No. So, by the way, I need to just understand. Who has come? Abdel Rahman. Hello, Abdel Rahman.
I'm here, doctor.
Are you here?
I'm here, doctor.
Okay. So, Amar?
Yes,
Amar?
I'm here.
You're here. Anurin? Anurin?
Here, doctor.
Okay,
Here.
I see. Isa?
Hello, doctor.
Hello. Mohammed Abu Ali? Abu Ali? He's absent. Mohammed Ali?
No, he's not. He's not. We have a problem in the mic.
Who is
His
speaking?
phone is lagging right now. Ammar.
I'm here, teacher. I'm here. My phone is lagging. I tell Ammar to tell you I'm here, but I'm here.
So Abu Ali, yes?
Yes, yes.
Mohammed Ali is still absent. Noha?
Yes, doctor, I'm here.
Okay. Rafaida?
Yes, doctor, I'm here.
Tariq?
Yes, doctor, here.
Emma is here.
I'm here.
Yes, Yasmin
Yes, here.
and Hussam.
Yes, I'm here, doctor.
Okay. Yes, Tariq, do you have any questions?
Yes, doctor. I don't know if anybody has asked this question. It is about how we can differentiate between the present perfect and the present perfect continuous. What's the best way? Is it by keywords or by the meaning of the sentence or by what?
Of course, by the meaning of the sentence. So if you would like to focus only on the result, so you use the present perfect tense. If you focus on the result and on the process, you would like to emphasize that it took a long time, it's better to use the present perfect continuous. So this is the way we should differentiate. But yes, sometimes it's very hard to understand. And so it's like in the sentence, you look tired. And the person answers, yes, I've been working for 3 hours with some kind of task. I have been working for 3 hours. It means the focus is on the duration of action. It took a long time, just 3 hours, and there is the result. The person is tired. So there are two just aspects of the present perfect continuous. So this is the way we should understand the difference. Did I answer your question?
Yes, understood.
Noha?
Yes, doctor. I would like to talk about the first sentence. Like it will be better to use have without ing, like in the present simple tense, right?
So you mean this sentence? These days the children are having too many. This sentence.
Yes, doctor. Like it would be better to use the present simple to use have in the present simple tense, yeah, right?
Right. Yes. So
but
it's better.
It's not obligatory. Like it would be better, right? Or what?
It's not obligatory to use the simple form.
Yes, I'm asking about this.
Do you mean that having like the present continuous is also possible to use?
Yes, I'm asking that it will be better.
You are asking, your question is it possible to use the present continuous form here?
Yes,
in this context?
that's my question.
So well, my answer is it's better to use the present simple form because this is the state verb in this context, and it's better like
Yes.
yes, they are just used in simple, not continuous forms.
Okay.
Well, this is how I understand the meaning of this sentence. Okay.
Yes, doctor. Thank you.
You're welcome. And so, Amar, now we are just coming to the next stage of our class culture projects. So you were given the task to prepare a presentation about one of the topics, which I given here. Emma, do you have any questions?
I think we will share it or just send it to someone.
You will share, sorry, what?
We will we will read our presentation or we just send it to you.
No, you should just share the presentation, and you should tell the class what you have found. You should just give the presentation. So I'm going to share the screen with you. Just you will be able to share the PowerPoint here, and then we will listen to everyone. I mean, so everyone who took part in preparation of the PowerPoint so should speak. I mean, every member of the group. And so now, are you done with, have you prepared the presentations?
Yes.
Great. And the person who was just responsible for dividing students into groups was Amar, right? Amar?
Right, teacher.
How many groups are there? Subgroups are there?
As you told me, 4 groups.
4
2 groups in the first projects. Yeah, 2 groups in the first projects, and third group for the second project, fourth group for the third project.
I see. Okay. And well, now I would like just I think it's better to start with the first project. This is like body language in your culture. And the first group, who are the students? Will you tell me the
I can start.
Sorry?
I can start.
No, Amar, you mean you are the student from the first group, yes?
Yes.
Who are the other students also who work together with you?
Abu Ali and Abdurrahman Majid.
Just a minute. I see. So we will start with you. And one more thing I would like to say just before we start listening to you about the criteria for evaluating group presentations. They are given here on this slide. So there are several aspects like content, organization, delivery, and visuals. If we speak about content, we should, while evaluating, we should answer the question, is the presentation informative and interesting? Then about organization, is the material organized logically? About delivery, are the speakers talking about the slides rather than simply reading them to the audience? And about visuals, Do the visuals help illustrate the important points? Do visuals use keywords or graphs instead of sentences? So after we have listened to the first group, please just try to evaluate the presentation according to this criteria. I will ask some students to evaluate, to say some words about the presentation. Well, now, yes, I mean that we're going. I'm going to give the right to share the screen with the, just a minute. Yes. So, Amar, please, you may start your presentation.
Should I start?
Yes, please.
Okay, the project one is called body language and importance of non-verbal communication in the Middle Eastern culture.
Excuse me, just can you make it larger, or like you can start the slideshow, or the scale should be
Like this?
Yes, like this.
Okay, the importance. Wait 1 second. The importance of body language in Middle Eastern culture. Good eye contact is expected in the West. Strong eye contact most notable in Spain, Greek, and Arab countries. Finns and Japanese are impaired by another stare and seek eye contact only at beginning of conversation. Ears. The Portuguese tug their earlobes indicate to indicate tasty food, but Italy this gesture has a sexual connotations, and in Spain means someone is not paying for their drinks. And for nose, a hearty nose below into handkerchief is typical to the West, and tapping your nose means confident. So for body language, its importance in Middle Eastern culture, non-verbal communication is a very important aspect of communication. We can send myriad messages without saying a word through a gesture, a posture, a look, an impression, or even through doing nothing at all, like a verbal communication. It evolves, changes, and gains new ways of expression. Also, it differs from place to place and from one generation to another. Moreover, there are universals that are shared between all language and others that are specific to one language and not to others. I'm done. Abu Ali. Abdurrahman.
Is my screen visible to everyone? And am I heard? Can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. Variations of gestures in Middle Eastern and Western cultures. Body language assists us in understanding and decoding what the person is saying. Body language also helps us interpret other people's moods and emotions. In the Arab world, there is a language of gestures which you can have great fun on observing, and others you should normally avoid. Do not embarrass yourself or show disrespect towards others in an Arab country, and they vary from simple eye contact to multiple hand gestures. Number one, eye contact. Western cultures mostly consider eye contact to be a good gesture. It shows attentiveness, confidence, and honesty. Other cultures, such as Asian, Middle Eastern, Hispanic, and Native Americans, do not take it as a good expression. It's taken as a rude and offensive expression. Unlike in Western cultures, taking it as respectful, others do not consider it that way. In Eastern cultures, women should especially not have eye contact with men, as it shows power or sexual interest. In some cultures, whereas gazes are taken as a way of expression, staring is taken as rude in most cultures. Hand gestures. Gestures such as thumbs up can be interpreted differently in different cultures. It is taken as an okay sign in many cultures, whereas it's taken as vulgarism in others like Latin American cultures and in Japan. Some even take it as money. In Arab countries, hand gestures uh, common in Arab culture include slowing down. If you want to signal somebody to slow down, you can simply hold your right arm out at waist height with the palm uppermost and bunch your fingertips together. Then you move your hand up and down. Thank you. Placing the palm of the right hand on the chest, bowing the head a little and closing one's eyes, indicating thank you. After shaking hands, an Arab may place his hand over his heart. No, if you want to strongly disagree, you can simply just lift your head up, rolling your eyes upwards, and make a clicking noise with your tongue. Snapping fingers to get the attention of a waiter is taken as a sign of disrespect and is usually very offensive in Arab culture. Touches are taken as rudeness, while shaking hands is considered to be acceptable. Arab men embrace and shake hands. It's also inappropriate to touch women. People in Middle Eastern countries are more conservative in these types of nonverbal communication.
Yeah,
I think it's Muhammad Abalista.
yes, it's me. About offensive gestures in Middle East culture. First one, we have I wish evil upon you. It's pitting with the right fingers, which has been placed sideways in which mouth, maybe a threat or an expression of regret. About the second one, it's I wish you harm. It's hitting the right fist into the open palm of the left hand indicates obstacle or contempt. About the third one is you are lying. It's placing a half closed hand in front of the stomach and then turning it slightly contents that the person to whom the gestures in the mid is a liar. The first one is I insult you, placing the tip of the left finger and the thumb together so the hand faces right. Then placing the tip of the right forefinger directly on the left on the left finger tips indicate an obscenely or insult directed at one's birth or patronage. The last one is you are important is showing slow while sitting in considered rude and symbolic of you being beneath my feet. اللي بعده يا عمر. Profession that employ non-variable communication. It's the last question. Just like teacher, journalist, lawyers, and the business, and it can also help in jobs interview or business meeting. That's all, teacher.
Okay, so thank you. And so if we go back to our criteria of evaluating, so the presentation, yes, I'll just try to share my screen. And so who would like to comment on the presentation? Well, Emma?
Doctor, I'm
Yes.
sorry, but I want to get my brother to his bus, please, for school.
Who is
Just
speaking?
give me 5 minutes. Ithar. I will go 5 minutes and I will
So
come
will
again.
you repeat your name, please?
Ithar.
Ithar, I see. Yes, Ithar. Okay.
Thank you.
So, Emma, can you comment on the presentation?
Okay, the presentation information was interesting. Yes, it was interesting. Is the materials organized logically? I think yes. Are the speaking talking about the slide rather than simply reading them to audience? They was talking them perfectly. Does the Viscal help illustrate the important points? I think they give all important points in the short way and they summarize it good. Does Vessels use the keywords or graphs instead of a sentence? No, I think they use sentence. Didn't use a short words or keywords.
Okay, thank you. Very just good analysis. So I agree with what you've said. So the information was great, and so the illustrations were rather relevant. But very detailed information just that gives us the idea of the meaning of different gestures in different countries. So you found very good information. And so it was presented in a good way, but it's better to not to put all the text on the slide, but just to select some key phrases, put some key phrases on the slides and then to speak about this. So this is just my recommendation. If you work with presentations in future, just keep in mind this aspect. Well, it looks like we need to pause the class.